Okay, well, that is it. That is day 10. So whether you're doing this with me day to day, congratulations to you. Or if you're just watching this as an overall video later, hopefully this was a good recap and helped you make a decision of whether or not to do this or not. So a couple purposes for this video and a couple ways we're going to break it up too, for those that are doing this amazing course with us, and then for YouTube, and then as a bigger video as well. So 10 days of eating beautiful, big, delicious vegetables and some fruits, mostly berries. No caffeine, sugar, alcohol, dairy, gluten, and red meat was just for one occasion. So very light, but I was very full the whole time. So no wheat, sugar, no dairy. No, there's a cat. My cat loves it when I do videos. No sugar, wheat, dairy, caffeine, alcohol. Sugar, wheat, dairy. There's one I'm missing. Sugar, wheat, dairy. Getting good sleep, taking the Epsom salt baths. It's just been a big shift, and I dabbled in those things. I wasn't like addicted in any way, I would say, to like sugar or junk food. But maybe more than I thought, because yesterday I told you I had this tiny sip of lemonade that I thought was made with monk fruit, but it must have had some other sugar, and I woke the beast. Today was okay. Today was not, wasn't struggling to eat or not eat, or like having cravings or anything, but I'm happy to end. I'm definitely going to be considering my coffee. I do have 1 cup a day, and I'll see how I feel. The first day back, and I know you're going to experience this too, it is crazy. Coffee will feel like a drug, like a hallucinogenic drug. So I wouldn't pound a big one. I wouldn't do it on an empty stomach, because you're going to be sensitive to all things. Day 10 is about connection, so making sure you're setting yourself up with a team and a community so that you can actually do this and sustain a lifestyle of eating fabulous and not falling back to your old ways of isolated prison, where you just eat because you're having a sad day, instead of really creating a lifestyle out of this. So there's an integration. This chapter 10 is all about connection. And I'm just going to read you this. The greatest gift. You ready? The gift of 10 days dedicated to yourself is like no other you can ever give or receive. Yes, you detoxed from sugar and junk and addictive habits, but you also gave yourself the chance to connect with yourself, to examine your thoughts and beliefs and the ways in which you currently live that don't support the greatest expression of who you are. 10 days may not seem like a lot, but I hope it gave you a taste of what is possible. The reason I created this program was to give you a profound experience of how quickly you can feel better, to show you how health, energy, weight loss, and yes, even happiness are available to you when you use food as medicine and make a few simple changes to your day. Food as medicine and make a few simple changes to your day. I love that. Once you have experienced what it feels like to feel good, then to get rid of brain fog, cravings, joint pain, fatigue, excess weight, and a myriad of other chronic health problems, then you know there is a path forward. I encourage you to see this as the first step on a new path of caring for yourself, of eating and living in a way that helps you thrive for the rest of your life. You now have the knowledge and the skills you need to recharge your life, and this program can be a touchstone that you can return to whenever you need to reset. I still need it, just like everybody else. In fact, I do this program 4 times a year. My cat just knocked over a big drum. She looks terrified. She's never seen that before. It says here Mark Hyman does this 4 times a year, not to lose weight, but to reboot his life. It's like a vacation without going anywhere. For me, it's a form of self-created paradise. I hope it is for you too. So my final results, it looks like my inches are down almost 2 inches pretty much everywhere, 1.5 inches in some spots. My weight's down 11 pounds. So I started at 226 and I'm now 215. I went as low as 210, but that was just a freakish day 4. I don't know what happened. Like 5 pounds just, and I was down 16 pounds on day 4. And then I bounced right back up to 215 the next day. So it must have been some freakish water thing that happened. Because, you know, if I drank 3 glasses of water right now, I'd be up 3 pounds probably. Sleep was really good on this. I've done other cleanses where by day 6 or 7, you're not sleeping much because you're so wired, but there's like a water fast. One thing I really enjoy is the answering the questions of how you're feeling, like what you're going through each day, and like really putting out your feelings and your emotions. And I love the measuring and the weight, measuring and the charting your journey and how did you sleep and how are you feeling, and actually measuring it, because if you can measure something, then you can actually really move it. So there's an integration phase that comes next as you come off of this. It's like a transition. And so obviously tomorrow is day 11, so there's a way to reintroduce food, and the transition phase is next. And so it's important to read this and not just go back to your other way of eating, or else what have you really done? You've just sort of made things hard for yourself. But you retake the toxicity questionnaire, and then there's a personal exit interview. What have you learned about your body over the 10 days? What did you notice or discover about your relationship to food? And really do these. Then you get the most out of it. Otherwise, like, why waste your time, right? Otherwise, you're just half-assing things. Might as well just do it. So this is the blood sugar solution, right? So your relationship to how insulin works in your body will have changed. You will be sensitive to sugar. When you eat something, you're going to notice it. So I really pray that this was just a really great way for you to get connected to what you're shoving in your face on a regular basis, and educate yourself on how that makes you feel and measure how it makes you feel. And yeah, there's probably some ups and downs for all of us on this. Like for me, day 2 and 3 were squirrely, but the rest of it was pretty great. I noticed clarity. I loved cooking this way, extra veggies all the time, and I feel like I've improved my relationship to food and my connection to it. And I just really appreciate the first part of the book too, where he really goes into like the why and how we got here. And there's some bonus supplements you can take. You know, there's the ones that he recommends that you can order from his website or Amazon or Metagenics. He was sold out on his sites because we're leading a bunch of you in a group through this cleanse as well, to see if we can help create a bit of community so that you're not alone, and really diving into the principles of this so that you can really reboot and give yourself a complete fresh start in your relationship to food, and transform your environment and the things, how it pulled you forward. You don't want things pulling you back. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to do a full recap on every day in a separate video that'll just quickly go over the whole journey. But for now, I just want to thank you for joining me for these 10 days. And I trust that this was enriching for you, and that I hope that in some way me sharing my journey supported you and created that connection in the community that he's talking about in chapter 10. I know that the relationship to all of this is in your mind. And if you're beating yourself up about how good you did or didn't do, or where you're at compared to where you need to be or think you need to be, you're going to be creating stress and cortisol, and he talks about that too, and making it impossible to lose weight. So my challenge for you is to become aware of that voice in your head. Can you begin to pay attention and train it to be kind and loving and gentle and tender in its relationship to you on purpose, meaning it's not going to just happen randomly. Most people have a very critical parent up there that's judging every one of their moves. And so a humongous part of weight management and weight strategy is the mental game of kindness to yourself and others. So that is, I want to leave you with that. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and we'll see you on the next video here too. Okay, see ya. Thanks for being here.